Dear friends, welcome to Know Thyself YouTube channel. Good morning. Hope you are all staying safe and keeping well. I sincerely thank all of you who have subscribed to this channel and follow the channel. If you find the contents of the videos uploaded in this channel useful, please subscribe to this channel and click the notification or the bell icon so that you can be notified when a video is uploaded. Kindly share the videos with others or on the internet. In the last two episodes of Know Your Personality segment, we focused our attention on the type 4 personality of Enneagramic-Jesus, namely as an individualist romantic. We described traits, attitudes, and qualities Jesus displayed in confronting those who opposed him and facing situations that were hostile, antagonistic, and unfriendly, which helped him not get caught up in type 4 compulsion of being special, avoidance of ordinariness, and their consequent pitfalls such as getting caught up in self-pity, melancholy, sadness, and inactivity, cutting a lone and tragic figure, and being obsessed about support from others, and to manifest a tremendous sense of self-confidence and be a source of support and encouragement for others despite his own personal sufferings. In this episode, we will talk about how Enneagram Type 4 persons can learn to deal with their compulsion and avoidance from the Enneagramic-Jesus Type 4 personality, thereby live a compulsion-free and avoidance-free life with themselves, others, and God. Firstly, in living his type 4 personality, Enneagramic-Jesus did experience his compulsion of being unique and special and the tendency to avoid ordinariness because of his sensitive and vulnerable nature and the tragic sins that dominated his life. However, though Jesus was indeed a man of sorrows and experienced physical and mental suffering throughout his life, unlike an Enneagram Type 4 person, he was never inclined to indulge in self-pity. Besides, he neither allowed himself to be overwhelmed by the tragic events he encountered in his life, nor used the tragedies of his life to draw other people's attention to himself and to feel sympathy for him. Instead, Jesus displayed an unbelievable sense of self-confidence, which was founded on his trust in his Heavenly Father and on his awareness of the fact that his suffering and passion were not the end story of his life, but his victory over sin and death through his resurrection was the end event. Thus, Jesus' hope of being the triumphant Son of Man and the resurrected Lord made him not to get lost in self-pity, but gave him the self-confidence and courage to accept his passion and the determination and resignation to live through it. As an Enneagram Type 4 person, you can learn from Type 4 personality of Enneagramic-Jesus self-confidence and courage to accept suffering, determination and resignation to live through situations of suffering, attitude of trust and faith in God in difficult moments, avoiding indulgence in self-pity to draw others' attention to yourself, and believing that the end event of life is not suffering and death, but hope of resurrection and rising to new life. If you live the above mentioned attitudes that marked the type 4 personality of Enneagramic-Jesus, you can free yourself from your type 4 compulsion, avoidance, and their negative impacts on your life. Secondly, unlike an Enneagram Type 4 person, Type 4 Enneagramic-Jesus never allowed his compulsion to be special, avoidance of ordinariness, and their consequences to portray himself as a lone and tragic figure. Instead, he spoke about his passion with fortitude and grit and lived it with willpower and resolve. That which helped Jesus to do that is his belief that one truly gains by losing. Matthew 19:29. One has to suffer the loss of life for its attainment. Matthew 16:24. One becomes the first by being the last. Mark 9:35. And one becomes truly great by being a servant. Matthew 20:26. It is this belief that made Jesus to say in John 12:24, unless a grain of wheat falls into the ground and dies, it remains alone. But if it dies, it bears much fruit. Since Jesus was convinced that fruitfulness of life is not possible without suffering, and the plan his Father wanted him to accomplish for the salvation of the world implied suffering and death on the cross, he never presented himself as a lone and tragic figure, but joyfully accepted his passion and accomplished it with determination and cheerfulness. As an Enneagram Type 4 person, if you acquire the above described attitudes of Jesus and emulate the spirit of resignation with which he accepted the plan of his Father, you can come to terms with the tragic sense your compulsion and avoidance bring in your life and live a life of cheerfulness and joy. Thirdly, unlike an Enneagram Type 4 person, Type 4 Enneagramic Jesus, when confronted with trying or difficult situations, did not give into the pitfall of melancholy, sadness, and despair. Jesus did not allow himself to be hypersensitive to hurts and misfortunes. He did not get lost in recalling tragic events again and again. He was not unduly saddened by the fact that he was overlooked, abandoned, and not appreciated. He didn't waste his time brooding about the gloomy situation. He didn't run into hiding, didn't get caught up in inactivity, and did not cling to his friends for understanding, support, and protection in a desperate manner. Instead, Jesus viewed the tragic events of his life as part of his Father's plan for him and did everything within his power to accomplish it. This attitude helped Jesus to become more active in the outside world and attempted to do good to others in the little time he had left in this world. Besides, instead of asking his disciples to stand by him during his passion, he supported them and helped them to be mentally prepared for the coming trial and the trauma they may experience. He also expressed his love for them in ever so many ways and asked them to love each other and be of support to each other when he is gone. If you, as an Enneagram Type 4 person, can learn from Type 4 Enneagramic Jesus the above mentioned attitudes and behavioral patterns, you can free yourself from your compulsion of being special, avoidance of ordinariness, and their consequent pitfalls of being caught up in self-pity, melancholy, sadness, despair, running away from life, getting caught up in inactivity, being obsessed about support and encouragement from others, cutting a lone and tragic figure, and face your life struggles with courage and determination and deal with them confidently and cheerfully. As an Enneagram Type 4 person, if you model your life after the Type 4 personality of Enneagramic Jesus, you will realize that the intense emotion you feel is part of your journey of life, and like Jesus, you will never let your emotions consume you. You will realize that your ability to feel deeply than others, your God-given special gift, and will learn to channel this wonderful gift you are blessed with in the best way possible for the betterment of others, as Jesus did in his life. You will also realize that you are a unique and special human being whom others cannot fully grasp and understand. This was Jesus' experience as well. If you can learn from and seek Jesus' help, you will recognize the richness of your personality. Focus on your positives. Live your life joyfully and become a source of blessing in the life of those around you. In the next 6 episodes, we will spell out the spiritual journey of Enneagram Type 5, the observer investigator. Thank you for watching this video. Stay blessed until we see you again with another video.